Bismillahirrahmanirrahim. Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh and good afternoons. Okay, this is the first Zoom meetings for subject business research methods. For the first meetings, we have done on the discussion on our assignments. Okay, for the newcomer, you already join in our group. Is actually we have done discuss on the assignment in the week ones. Last week, week two, we also cover on the discussion in the group WhatsApp. And today is the week 3, so we discuss on the chapter 1 to cover of the very important things, and also we discuss a few templates that's cover for our assignments. Okay, before we start on the chapter 1, this part is very important to in terms of developments and skills for the postgrad for researcher, which is for PhD or the master students. This is a part you should be know. You need to increase your capability, your efforts in order to more clear increase of your knowledge and apply regarding action of the research. And then for the skills in term, it's not just only about writing, but also regarding how to get the good materials. So this is all the part is really important. So we go through one by ones. This is actually some like motivation and initial part before we learn for the chapter 1. Number 1 is skill development. You please remember you are researcher. We are actually researcher. So if you start register for master by research or PhD, you are actually researcher. So all the part, all the activity, all the process on your okay, all the process, all the guide and the guidance of the research, you should be learn all the activity in the R&D process. So number 1 is skill development. You should be develop the skill. So first thing first, actually we already explore. I hope everyone already explore 30 database of the 30 database thesis. So that part you develop your skill regarding to find relevance matter on the thesis. Okay, make sure that skill development is conducive, effective and effective. Okay, in this part you should be know which one is effective in ineffective. In other words, is valuable and non-valuable. Okay, right now all the materials, all notes in everything, and you can learn in social media, in YouTube, and in the online platforms to make it conducive and effective also. And so we have right now we still in pandemic COVID-19. You need to develop the skill in the conducive and effective matters. And then you need to efficient also. From the effective, you need to efficient to improve your skill as a researcher, more effective, hard work, and well less stressful. So you need to reduce you need to go to another journey. You are not degree student. Everything you can ask and ask and ask. You should be know that PhD is independence. A lot of efforts, a lot of commitment and disciplines you need do yourself. Okay, so in this subject business research method, I try to assist you. I cannot say more, but I think that just a basics. Yes, I'm covered a lot, but for me still a basics, because if you want to learn about the research, is actually continuously a lot of books, a lot of scholars, a lot of the options. From your problem statement, we have a lot option to do a research. But you need to write very clear problem statement to match what the suitable of your research design and research solutions. That's why for me, you need a lot of efforts to learn many things. You need to have patience, work hard, work smart, and then you start your loving of the research activities, okay? Because in PhD and in master R&D activities, patience is really important. Okay, and then number 2 is nature of research, different way thinking about the problem that arise. I have a few problem with the PhD and master student. For example, when you write in your research background, is actually you try to explain on the industry background, okay, but you not explain on your research background. The keyword is research, so you want to do a research. So what the issues, what the issues on the research? Don't explain, don't writing about the general one. Everyone can write in general, okay? Non-PhD, non-master student can write in general, but you are actually PhD and master student, should be whatever you write in your research background or problem statement is based on your research, okay? Professional academia, okay? I believe that some of you are from industry, so you should be know that PhD and master is actually from institution academic educations. So you should be understand how professional academic works. Okay. So previously, maybe from your do assignment during the degree, you do a copy and paste, and you just read a few material, and then you come up, I think, regarding page numbers, and you have high page number. But in these matters, on the PhD thesis and master thesis, every word, every single word and sentence and paragraph, we will ask what, why, and how. What of this? Why you write this? How you claim this? Why you cite this scholar? What actually you try to explain? Why you not write very specific? Why you write in general? That the part, okay. Then start reading and writing. So if you reading and reading and reading, this is not occupied for the PhD or master. Okay, you need to write. We need to count your thesis, and every words, sentence, and paragraph is about the writing. Yes, we need to start in reading, but if you just only reading and do not start on your writing, so we can call that no action, no marks. Okay, all the marks calculate based on your writing. It's a take time and need to persistence and patience to develop the required skill. Yes, persistent and patient, but I think that you need to work smart. I always give these tips. Please write every day, at least one day, one paragraph. The minimum you should be write one paragraph per day. Doesn't matter it's perfect, is it right, is it wrong. You need to write one paragraph every day. Okay. Set difficulties of your practice. Some of the research, the more critical, more difficulties, always researchers think that methodology. Okay. Yes, research methodology, you need to learn many things, but the problem, the first issue, when you do not know how to write research background and problem statement. Yeah, you start to think difficulty in methodology, but you forget. The first thing first, you facing the problem is research background and problem statement. So you need to know that each outline, sub outline in your thesis, how to do that, how to do this, how to write this. Okay. Start with the simple and easiest version of the task, then increase the difficulties. It's really good tips. And because you already start, and you just push button on and to in this journey, okay, you should be start for the easier part. Okay. No matter how intelligent you are and no matter how you work, start with the simple one. I I I face very difficult to find my friends. I can call that excellence during at school or degree, 4 flats, 3.8, 3.9, we can say that these intelligent people will easy to do the PhD or master. Not guarantee. I always find that people, okay, the background education is I face a lot of my friends in the start of your educations during the school and degrees is not good regarding the result and the pointer. Sorry, you need to mute your so because all right, already mute. Okay, make sure still in mute. Okay, all right, and then start to reading and writing. Sorry. Okay, it take time. Okay, set difficulties and your practice start with the simplest. For example, that I recommend you write one day and per day for one paragraph. Okay, just beyond your current level, slow down and concentrate on just one element at a time. Okay, don't think many things in your focus, in your timeline, in your progress. Okay, please work out on the specific tasks and in order to achieve the targets. Okay, okay, this part is stress. I know that some people call that stress. But the most important thing, how you handle your stress. And high level, if the level of skill already established through practice. Okay, when you start to practice, for example, you start to write one paragraph per day, day 1, day 2, day 3, day 4. You make it a practice, then you can reduce your stress. Okay, try do as a routine, consistent, standardized to reduce your stress. Multitasking, stay with the problem, feel comfortable. So don't run away. Don't run away a problem. You need to face a problem. You need to solve the problem. In order to solve the problem, make sure you feel comfortable. Okay, that you can handle multitasking. If you try to run a problem, you don't feel comfortable, how you can solve the problem? Your problem is not one, a lot, a few, several, and multitasking. So how you handle this? You need to professional regarding on your routine, daily routine, regarding on your thesis, and also your careers. Okay, need to slow down in order to continue to improve your score, your skills. So I'm sorry, use a word of slow down. It's something like slow down is not negative, and you think positive. You have very good structure, but you please slow down. Okay, because research is not fast track. It's not fast tracks. Okay, you need to learn slice by slice. Okay, revising the basic, re-assuming thing you already knows. Some people think that, yeah, I'm PhD right now. You forget all the knowledge you learn from your sekolah rendah and sekolah menengah and during at school, and how to write very good in paragraph, and you learn academic writing, how to write academic writing, how use conjunction words, how use synthesize, what is we call that concludes, what is a critical writings, how to make it the arguments, how to make compare similar or difference. So this is the part you have already learned during the school, but that's part doing the PhD. Please remember that all the basic and you get from the degree, bachelor, and at school, please apply and polish in during your PhD. Mistakes are investable and necessary. Okay, I give you point. During the Viva proposal defense, all the panel will be read your thesis. That the evaluator will be take notes, and then will be asked you regarding a mistake. Okay, please refer page 22. Why you write this paragraph? Why you claim? Why you cite this scholar? How this scholar, this citation will be related to answer your objective number 1. And so, if you increase a mistake, okay, that the part you can get the major correction, something like that. Okay, putting principle into practice. Principle meaning that is this one compulsory. If you need to read every day, but how to read? Try to make it practices. In per day, how much? It's not how much. How hours you spend to read a journal? How time spent to write a one paragraph? That if you get this, and time to time you have very standardized and very good practices. Okay. All right. Okay. Last week, we actually covered on your database. Why you need to explore all the database. Some of you just cover 5 from 30, 50%, not start yet. So I believe that you have done the database on this discussion. Actually, today I'm not cover a class actually because I have give you a slide and video before your 1 week before join a class. So next week also I try to give one video and slide 1 week before and before you join the class. But little bit I add from the slide. Then I'm share today's. So just little bit add from the previous slide. Okay. First thing first. Okay. When you write a research background, the panel, your supervisor will ask you regarding on currents, recently. Sorry, please make sure you mute. Okay. All right. This is we call that Malaysians. Okay. Sorry ada gangguan. Alright. Okay. Okay, this is actually the worldwide. It's not Malaysia only. It's the worldwide. It's regarding, we call that Sustainable Development Goal, SDG. This actually help you. And when the panel, when your supervisor asks you, why you want to study this topic? What's motivation yourself to study in this topic? What's the contribution you can bring to industrial, to the sectors and the governments and the community based on this topic? What is your main contribution? Based on that question, you need to learn. I think that this is quite crucial and critical parts of the recently in the worldwide research to explore on the Sustainable Development Goal. So we have 18 platform and numbers and activity on SDG. Okay, you can highlight this. If this is a number SDG 1, you can highlight this one in your research background. Okay, please make sure your topic is related on no poverty and zero hunger, good health and well-being. Okay, your topics, your title is match with the quality education, gender equality, clean water and sanitation, affordable and clean energies, and number 8, decent work and economic growth. Number 9, industry, innovation, infrastructure, reduce inequalities. Okay. 11, sustainable cities and communities, responsible consumption and productions, climate actions, life beyond waters, 15, life on land, 16, peace, justice, and strong institutions, partnership for the goal, 17, and others, societal harmony and happiness. Based on your titles, which numbers of SDG? So in this part SDG, you can highlight in your research background. And so we can know that, oh, this topic cover SDG number 8. So we can see that how this topic will be give the contribution is not just for the local, for international also. Okay, number 2, in Malaysia. I'm sorry because we also have an international student, but I just give the example from Malaysia. So from Malaysia, we have blueprint, we have policy, we have guideline, we have specific report, specialized report, we have annual report. So in this case, Malaysia use as shared poverty vision, wawasan kemakmuran bersama, WKB. So in this shared property vision 2030, we use that key economic growth activity. We can call that KEGA. KEGA. You need to check your topic actually cover which numbers. Number 1, Islamic Finance Hub 2.0. Number 2 is digital economy. KEGA 3, Industrial Evolution 4.0. KEGA 4, Content Industries. KEGA 5, ASEAN Hub. KEGA 6, Halal and Food Hubs. KEGA 7, Community Malaysia 2.0. KEGA 8, Logistic Transportation and Sustainable Mobility. KEGA 9, Coastal and Maritime Economics. Center of Excellence, KEGA 10. KEGA 11, Renewable Energy. 12, Green Economy. 13, Smart and High Value Agriculture. 14, Advanced and Modern Service. 15, Malaysia Truly Asia. So if you are from China, you are from UAE, you need to find that your country's, what we call that, specifics, vision and missions, specific inspiration, aspirations, national aspiration. Okay, in Malaysia, we use Share Prosperity Vision 2030. Okay, so please explain this. So as a supervisor and the panel will be more understand based on this topic will be contribute not only SDG, Sustainable Development Goal, but also for the local Share Prosperity Vision 2030. Okay, we have another one in Malaysia, and first WKB and Share Prosperity Visions, and then 10 my side. Your study actually, which contribute for the social economics, energy, business and financial services, culture and art tourism, medical healthcare, smart technology and system, jet generation, engineering and manufacturing, smart city and transportation, water and food, agriculture and forestry, education, environment and biodiversity. So in Malaysia, we have 10 my side. We have KEGA, 15 KEGA under the key economic growth activities. And then we have 18 SDG plus others. Okay, SDG is not Malaysia. Actually, UNESCO cover the worldwide. Okay, and just to share this slide, to inform you in order to write, because you are the postgrad level of your knowledge is not just cover very quite small. Okay, not just cover our local perspective, but you need to cover the worldwide agenda. Okay. All right. Okay. This sum of, sorry. Okay. We have the problem regarding this slide. Yeah. Let me check. Okay. I need to stop share. That I need to open share again. Sorry. Sorry. Yeah. Give me a few seconds to check the problems. Okay. Just wait, eh? Okay, sorry. Yeah. Okay. Okay. So far, any questions? Any questions? Okay. If no question, I am continue. Okay, we go through the objective. Go through the objective. This we can call that word selections. The keyword is identify. When you use the words of identify, determine.
Why வராங்கடா அப்பப்போ வந்து இப்படி 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 கிளாஸ் என்ன கிளாஸ் இல்லைங்களா
Okay, to identify, okay, to determine, to examine, to measure, analyze, investigate, explore, develop, discover, ascertain. Okay, for qualitative research is no issue to use these keywords, this word selection to represent on your objective, research objective. But for quantitative, this selection is really important because the research philosophy on quantitative is accurate. Okay, but for the qualitative flexibility. But yes, we can see we can answer that qualitative is flexibility, but you need to know the suitables, the levels, and then the suitable in order to analyze your data, so we can easy to define which one is more suitable in your research. Okay, for example, in quantitative, if you don't use hypothesis, don't have hypothesis, so meaning that your objective is identify. Bahasa Melayu dia mengenal pasti, identify. If you have hypothesis, your option number one, to determine, examine, investigate. If you use investigate, meaning that you go through the advance. For example, moderating, mediating, so that you use a word of investigate to investigate direct and indirect effects, and that you use the investigate. But if you use the very direct part, you can use the relationship, you can use determine or examine. But if you don't have the hypothesis, you need use identify. Okay, but for the qualitative, no issue, you can use. Okay, for example, to explore. So explore is for qualitative only. It's not using for quantitative research. Okay, develop, subjective. Some of the quantitative use, because you are develop, then you use the develop. In qualitative, you are develop, you can use a develop. Discover, ascertain, mostly in qualitative. Okay, to analyze and measure, looking for the contents. Some of the research use a measure, analyze. So measure, analyze should be in under group on the determine and examine. Should be have hypothesis. Just in case in quantitative lah. If you are in qualitative, no need hypothesis. Okay, that's why you need to learn, we call that Bloom taxonomy. So it should be the highest taxonomy represent is really good in terms of R&D and research. So we have remembering, understanding, applying, analyzing, evaluating, and creating. So that's why currently most of PhD students, there will be to design, to build, to develop. So develop also in this area. You want to develop module, so meaning that creating. You want to develop model, this we call that creating. You want to develop system, that's a creating. So the part, the highest, this part, okay, creating. Create something new. Okay. Number 2 is evaluating. Critically examining info, make judgment, judge, test, critics, defend, and criticize. So if you use a text for document analysis, you need to evaluate. If you do a research in quality and quantity, also you need to evaluate. So it is part of the evaluate. So evaluating is not just only on the writing, but regarding how critically you collect the data, you analyze the data. Okay, this also we call the evaluating. Number 3 is analyzing and take info apart, explore. This one, explore relationship. You make it compare and contrast, organize, categorize, examine. So you're part of analysis. Most research actually, mostly researcher is going, is this is the top. Whether it's creating, evaluating, and analyzing. So in the second cluster, applying. You using, you diagram, make a chart, draw, apply, solve, calculate. Use information in a new but similar situations. You are just only applying. Okay. Next, number 3 is understanding. Interpret, summarize, explain, paraphrase, discuss, understanding. So that's why in literature review, we call that discussion. You need to discuss your literature review. It's not just reporting. Okay, remembering, find or remember information, list, find, name, and identify. And then you know that why PhD student in your objective cannot be used identify for all. Okay, just 1 or 2, okay. But if you have the 4 objective, all 4 objective, use identify is not recommended. Because identify is the law of the Bloom taxonomy. Okay. Okay, we try to go to the example. Okay, we try to go the example of one thesis. Okay, this thesis is sustainable manufacturing performance evaluation tool for automotive companies. Okay, we just check and we try to explore and learn from this thesis. Okay, this title is Sustainable Manufacturing Performance Evaluation Tool for Automotive Company. And again, I just to repeat from all my students, our class is for, we learn on research method is for non-educations. If you are from education, you need to register others class. For this class, for non-educations. Okay. All right. This is my friend actually. Actually now is Professor Elita Amrina in Indonesia. So we are actually a same supervisor in UTM. So we are both cover on the engineering. So I'm doctorate engineering, Elita Amrina PhD in engineering. So the topic is sustainable manufacturing performance evaluation tool for automotive company. I'm do also in automotive company also. Okay, very simple. Okay, I don't know how that some university, in order to come up a PhD level, we need to many objectives. In our case, objective only two objective and 2 research question. Their objective is to develop and looking at to develop. To develop represent the highest creating sections. Okay. That's why the objective is to develop a set sustainable manufacturing performance measures. So they want to come up a set sustainable manufacturing performance measures. And second, to develop evaluation tools for sustainable manufacturing. Okay, from these two objectives, number one, what are the sustainable? Because you wanted that to develop a set sustainable, what are the sustainable manufacturing performance measures that can be applied? Okay, then your objective number one and research space number one, we can call that alignments. And how to develop? So I can first thing first, I can reach to be get the answer. What are the sustainable performance measures that can be applied? Okay, so number one objective and research question is aligned. Number two, to develop evaluation tool. How the automotive company evaluates. So how the company evaluate. Then, in order to solve, we develop an evaluation tool for sustainable performance automotive company. So objective and research question is good, and both objective and research question is aligned. Okay, this is their research background. Okay, this is their thesis. Okay, one paragraph, one, two, three paragraph, four paragraph, five, six, seven, eight paragraph. Okay, from this study, Elita Amrina, for the section on the research background, they have come up 8 paragraphs. Okay, we go through paragraph by paragraph. Okay, this is a paragraph number 1. Okay, they are right, they explain based on their titles and to reflect in their title sustainable performance measures. They start the first word is sustainability. Sustainability has become an increased important issue among industry in the worldwide. Okay, many companies are directing their resources to minimize the environmental impact of their product and operation, and there is growing awareness among manufacturing companies of the need to consider the triple bottom line. Okay, we need to understand what meaning of triple bottom line. Okay, triple bottom line meaning that 3 factors, 3 elements, the critical element. Okay, the basic element that we call that triple bottom line. Okay, developing sustainable approach to manufacturing company has been regarded a critical global. Okay, from these 4 sentences, the first sentence, they want to highlight in terms of worldwide, how that this sustainability is really important in the worldwide agenda. That's the first sentence, the first point. Number 2, they give the reason why industry need sustainability to minimize environmental impacts. Number 3 and number 4, why right now, recently, is really important to using triple bottom line. Using these 3, economy, social, and environmental performance for manufacturing companies. All the manufacturing company right now, you should be use economy, social, and environmental performance. They're strengthened on that. Okay, that's really important in the first paragraph. Yeah, explain sustainability as a worldwide. Why we need to do a sustainability? What part? 3 area, 3 bottom line. We need to focus on the research. And this is a critical global concern. So as a researcher, we need to cover economy, social, and environmental performance. Okay, we go through the research background, paragraph number 2. Okay, they have 5 sentences here. Number 1, company today are facing the challenge, not only manufacture of quality product, but also environmental friendly products. Okay. Number 2, manufacturing company are strive achieve sustainability through change in their product process and system. They have citation Sutherland 2008. Sorry, Sutherland et al. 2008. The implementation of sustainable manufacturing offer the cost-effective road improving economic, environmental, and social performance as the 3 pillars sustainability. It has been reported that those companies adopt sustainable practice are able to achieve better product, higher market share, and increase profit, and then has be seen to be positive associated with a competitive outcome. Also, this paragraph, they try to deep to explain what the benefit this topic area. Okay, first thing first, they highlight that how that is a very significant, important environmental for sustainability research. Okay, regarding this part also, point number 2, sorry, sentence number 2 to 5, to highlight the strengths, the benefits if the company applies sustainable manufacturing. Okay, that this second paragraph. Okay, go through the third paragraph. And in recent years, manufacturing companies have adopted various strategies to minimize the impact of the operation and the product on the natural environments. They should control the environmental impact of the manufacturing activity globally in order to achieve sustainable global manufacturing. Therefore, in the last few years, in growing range of manufacturing companies have included the environmental principle in their operation. Okay, in the third paragraph, okay, these authors and Elita Amrina try to highlight point number 1 and number 2 is try to give a justification why we need the environmental strategies control in order to achieve this sustainability. Okay, so why we need research? Why you need to do this thesis? Because you want to do a research. So right now, why I'm choose this one to apply my study? Because we need to do a research to strategize, to monitoring and controlling in order to make sure sustainability will be success in the sustainable manufacturing companies. Okay. Point number 2, they highlight that they are very focused. It's really important to be make sure manufacturing company success. Please focus. Please give the attentions on the environmental principle and operational. And that they highlight in this. They start to zoom and start from the worldwide, and then they highlight the importance. So they the zoom how this all the important, really important to the manufacturing. So what the impacts? Why environmental and operation, the two areas you should be blend, integrate and synergize. Okay. Paragraph number 4. For manufacturing companies, sustainability has emerged as a new competitive requirement. So they're looking on the competitors. Okay, and to mean chief difference in the market. Okay, in addition, sustainability concern regarded as the important order to winning factors, and the sustainability, so increasing concern sustainability to drive to legalization, public interest, competitive opportunity, force manufacturing company to inevitably consider sustainability into their strategies activities. Okay, point number 1, number 2, and 3A, they highlight that we need some factors. It should be related that align and relevance with the current manufacturing sustainability. What's other part that is related? That's why they want to use triple bottom line: social, economy, and environmental. In 3B, they highlight and again the benefit and the strengthened accessibility for the manufacturing company. Why manufacturing company should be applied the sustainability. Okay. Okay. All right. Okay, we go to the 5th paragraph. Okay, in response to the growing sustainability concern, manufacturing company have to formulate measures to evaluate sustainable manufacturing performance, aim to integrate sustainability aspect. Generally, sustainability evaluate on the dimension of environmental, social, economy, while manufacturing performance is evaluate on dimension of quality, cost, delivery, and flexibility. And then point number 2 suggests that environmental requirement must be considered equal partner to traditional requirement. So before this, we not use the environmental, mostly use social economics. But in this case, for the sustainability, environmental should be as must, should be applied for to all the manufacturing companies. Okay, and then manufacturing cost, energy consumption, waste management, environmental impact, operation safety, and personal health should be considered the same equal. Thus, it's necessary to incorporate sustainability dimension into manufacturing performance dimension, result sustainable manufacturing performance measure. Okay, in this paragraph, and again, they try to continue from the first paragraph, second, third. They want to highlight that if you want to do a research in a manufacturing company, the critical part is sustainable. So that's why they try to highlight, to try to make sure all the paragraph in the research paragraph, you want to conclude that for manufacturing company, cannot wait. We need to apply right now in terms of sustainability. But the issue is regarding on sustainability. What type the sustainability? What the factors? What the measure? How that this measure, this item sustainable can be assist to the industry and organization. Okay, paragraph number 6. Although literature on sustainability is abundant and growing, very few studies have actual integrate sustainability into the manufacturing performance. I'm not agree this same statement. This statement should be in not in research background. It should be in problem statement. When you try to highlight the research gap, this one research gap, very few study have actual integrate. You should be right in the problem statement, not in your research background. Okay. Then sustainability has been integrated into manufacturing management areas such as product development, supply chains, lean manufacturing, green design manufacture, and supply evaluation and selection. In addition, research study have also attempt developing criteria. Okay, in this paragraph, they try to highlight regarding on the limitation. They want to discuss what the previous research, related research done, what actually research previously covers. That we can see that from this paragraph, we have many topics with the covers. Okay, product development, supply chain, lead manufacturing, green design manufacturing, but very limited study on the sustainable manufacturing measures, for examples. Okay, 6B combination and first 6th paragraph. So we have combined for traditionals. This is, we call that because you want to study sustainable performance measures. They have this paragraph to highlight commonly, traditionally, quality, cost, delivery, flexibility is the traditional way. But in these dishes, they need to integrate with the environmental performance. Okay, from the previously result as total of 16 dimensions of sustainable manufacturing performance by WECON and classes. Okay, then another researcher, Lucinko, proposed 24 measures. So they want, this study to want to propose sustainable performance measure. Before they are proposed, they would need to check other research that cover is more related in their topics. So they have cover from WECON, where Lucinko, okay, and the fund also, okay. But the point is, however, after they are covered, the previous study have related on their study, they give the argument and conclude. However, there is no single set standard measure to evaluate sustainable manufacturing performance. And again, when you write this statement in research background, we have the panel will be confusing because in this statement should be right in the problem statement. Okay. Paragraph 7, sustainability has certainly become one of the critical issues in automotive industry. This one they try to conclude in this section of research background. And the automotive industry constitute product system with direct, indirect, related, and economic logs. Okay, it can be concluded that automotive industry play important role for economic, environmental, and social development. So in this paragraph, they try to highlight that previously they highlight for the manufacturing company. This paragraph they zoom in manufacturing. They choose automotive. We have a lot of the company on the manufacturing, plastic, metal, electricals, electronics. But in this case, why they are focused in automotive? Can this, the way they write, the style they write, we can know that they want to study in automotive companies. Okay, that they try to make it finalize, summarize. In manufacturing, yes. In automotive, also yes. In manufacturing, automotive, the critical sectors in the manufacturing also face the same problem, the same critical issue that highlight in a manufacturing company. So that's why automotive company also need sustainability. Okay, for this research background, they have 7 paragraphs. 7 or sorry 6A 6B something like this. So that is 8, but in this case, in this exercise, they have the 7 paragraph. From this research background, okay, they have come up with the problem statement. Okay, this is a problem statement. Okay, in this case, 1, 2, 3. Okay, they have only 3 paragraphs in the problem statement. No citation at all in problem statement. But I need to say but, however, don't apply in UPSI. In UPSI, mostly researcher, mostly supervisor require citation in your problem statement. In my case, I don't need citation in problem statement, because problem statement is just statement. How I'm write the statement from research background. Okay, I'm done research background. From research background, please write problem statement. That's it. But your perspective, your supervisor, lecturer is something different. Okay, that's why I'm recommend, because you are student in UPSI, I'm recommend your problem statement should be have citations. But in this case, in our class, why I'm share this slide, because I try to choose one thesis to make better understanding. Okay, all right. From these 3 paragraphs, okay, we cover paragraph by paragraph. Paragraph number 1, very simple. The automotive company are under intense pressure to reduce environmental impact of their product and operation. For sustainability, it should to achieve balance. In research background, they have mentioned that we need 3 bottom line: social, economic, and environmental. And problem statement, they are polish the statement from the research background to make it very clear. Because problem statement should be right more clear. To make it clear why we need this triple bottom line, to balance among triple bottom line, to involve these 3: economy, environmental, and social. It is a big challenge for automotive company to give serious intention on sustainability. Very clear. From this paragraph, we can know that they want to study on the sustainability using 3 bottom line: social, economic, environmental, in automotive industry. Because mostly in automotive is a give serious intention on sustainability. Okay, this is the first paragraph. Okay, we go through the second paragraph. Okay, then although sustainability issue have been widely growing for many years, memang we can see that the trend of the sustainability, only few studies have conducted incorporate sustainability into manufacturing performance. Okay, in manufacturing, they have manufacturing performance. Okay, well, we know that sustainability is not new, the cover is in many years, but however, still lacking applied sustainability on manufacturing performance. There is yet to be standard set sustainable measures. So they highlight again, yes, some manufacturers already applied this sustainability in their manufacturing performance, but not as the standard set. It's not standard set, maybe loose, maybe individualistic, but not this the set of standards. Although some studies have investigated measures sustainable manufacturing performance, only few have integrated into triple bottom line. Okay, very few researchers, very rare. The researcher from the manufacturing company and sustainable apply this triple bottom line. Most study only focus on the environmental dimension alone, not as a triple bottom line. Okay. The last one, hence, is belief that there is a need evaluation sustainable manufacturing performance for automotive company, considering the triple bottom line for sustainability on the equal level. The focus of this research is to develop and evaluate tools as to assess sustainable manufacturing performance in an automotive company, which hopefully will help them to improve their sustainability manufacturing performance so as to become more competitive. This last paragraph in problem statement, they have made a conclude. Okay, you highlight that automotive is critical. Mostly manufacturing need to apply sustainability in the triple bottom line. So what's next? That's why they want to develop the sustainable performance measures and sustainable development tool for the automotive company to become more competitive. Okay, now we need to start to discuss. Okay, everyone, please take note. Please take note. In order they write the research background, have any paragraph, this person, this professor, they write the history of automotive. No. They try to explain in automotive in blah blah specific country. No. What actually this person try to write in your research background, we call that relevant issues in order to do a research. You know that they are researcher. I'm right research background for relevant issues in order to give to the problem statement to build a statement. That is very important. When we go to the problem statement, we actually align. Okay, I try to make conclusion. Okay, to align. We go the first paragraph on the problem statement. So first problem statement, they're already clear. They want to study an automotive company. Yeah, this is aligned with your research background. You want to study on the triple bottom line, but you just add one word balance here to make sure that manufacturing is balanced by use these three bottom line. Okay, that is something is not different. But you continue from the issues for relevant issues, you take these several of issues, make it a problem statement. Okay, we go to the second paragraph. That here they make it a research gap. Okay, they here to make it research gap. Why you need to study this topic? We have many reasons. Okay, we have many reasons, not just only on the research gap because of lack. Few people study, not just like that. We have a lot of style, but this is a style, one of the style. Yeah, we call that no or limited studies. That is the reason that we call that this paragraph is a research gap. In the last paragraph, they have to highlight that, okay, so in this matter, so in this issue, so what is actually research can do? Because we do a thesis, we researcher R&D department can do. So we can do a research. For this paragraph to help us to develop their objective. If don't have this paragraph, how do they want to write their objective? That's why from this, we just double check their objective. Okay, this one their objective. To develop offset sustainable manufacturing performance measure. Yeah. You have highlight this in your problem statement. To develop evaluation tool. Oh yeah, you also highlight this in your problem statement. Very clear. So objective, your problem statement, your research background align. But I face a problem. Some of students try to explain research background, try to make it history, automotive industry from Malaysia is seen 40 years back. Automotive in Malaysia is automotive, something like that. So what? You try to discuss a background, the industry. But it's very clear here is research background. It's not background of industry. Some of the students try to write more and more, but it's not relevant. Okay, we continue. Okay, so this is other research. So this is other research in order to make it clear for your research background, problem statement, and objective. Okay, for this one, just to make it very simple. So I don't explain like previous thesis, but in this second example, I just check the direction. Okay, first thing first. Okay, you can learn from this slide after this. Okay, you go through the specific word by word, sentence by sentence. But I try to teach you how to coordination on the research objective and problem statements. Okay. Okay, now you can know that we have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. So 6 research objectives. So the title is an analysis of staff perception of their preparedness for the implementation of active learning in Malaysia engineering education. Exploratory approach. Okay. So they have 6 objectives. Okay, for objective number 1, why they come up there to analyze staff perception with regard to L implementation? Why they propose this objective? Because want to solve the problem statement. Which problem statement? Okay, which problem statement? Okay, okay, which problem statement? Okay, this problem statement, the purple one. Okay, and number 1 is purple. Okay, purple. So we can go through in this part. This part, although this different approach is implemented higher education worldwide, this statement represent for objective number 1, meaning that this problem, this statement of problem is for aligned for objective number 1. Okay, for the yellow, this one, in other words, the change encouraged. The second part is the yellow problem statement represent for your second objective. Okay, the chocolate color. Okay, this chocolate color, this statement of the problem is aligned with your objective number 3. Okay, we need to check your problem statement. These statements in your problem statement, the blue one is represent on your objective number 4. Okay, and then the pink one, this paragraph will be highlight the statement of the problem for objective number 5. The last objective, objective number 6, the green box. So in the green one, Hanafi et al. Assert that lack proper equipment. This statement is support for the objective number 6. That's we call that the problem statement and objective is aligned. So I'm always ask the student, okay, refer your objective number 1. What is a research problem? No research problem. Why you suggest you propose objective number 1? In this case, clear. This box, purple statement of the problem represent on objective number 1. Okay, that the part you need to learn and learn. Okay, I give you a few example. At least you get some the idea that you can apply in your research. How really important that the alignment. Okay, this is a part of major. If you not align in your chapter 1, you become error your chapter 2. Meaning that in bahasa Melayu kita kata salah alignment ni salah semua bab. Salah, if you make it error, this alignment, problem statement and objective will be affect the whole chapters. Then you get the major corrections. Some of students fail the PhD because of objective and problem is not aligned. Just we can accept because you actually do a research, but you not solve a problem. You do a research, but this is not the problem. You try solve anything, other things. The problem here, but you not solve. But you try solve another things. That's the problems. In this research, you just solve whatever you highlight in your problem statement. Problem statement is agreement. Please remember. For example, we just go back. This problem statement, this agreement. Whatever you highlight, whatever you say, whatever you mention, this problem should be can solve, should be must solve in your research. That the most important that. Okay, that's why I'm strengthening your problem statement is really important. Every single word, the panel will be checked. So in your problem statement, you highlight blah 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 blah, but no objective. How to solve the problem without no objective? This statement specifically objective number one. What numbers of objective? That's very important in this stage. Okay. All right. And this one you can explore. Okay. This is the third one, also from the structure acquisition model, consumer intention, consume function food, application for yogurt, margarine in the UK. So I do the same thing. I'm highlight here. So they have the three objectives. How the objective number one, how objective number two, how objective number three will be aligned with the statements. Okay. Okay. You just double check, read and views, and okay, to get the idea. Okay. All right. Now we go to the significance of research. Okay, significance of research ni is something like it's not happen, belum berlaku. Actually, significance of the study or significance of research in with align with the chapter 5. In chapter 5, we call that we have research contribution. So research contribution in chapter 5 is aligned with the chapter 1. We call that significance of the study or significance of the research. I think from our IPS format, so we use the term significance of study. But you need to double check lah, significance of study or significance of research. Okay. In order to cover this significance of study and significance of research, you should be cover 4 areas. Number 1, theoretically. Number 2, methodologically. Number 4, empirically. Number 5, practically. Why? When you talk about significance of the study, these 4 areas you need to cover. Number 1, theoretical. You do a research. Once you do a research, you actually bring a knowledge. When you bring a knowledge, you have the contents. Some of research content, you have theme, you have variables, you have specific topic, you have sub-topic. That part, we call that you bring a theory or concept or literature. So all the researcher automatically, when you complete your research, this thesis is actually contribute on the theoretically, and not from theory, from concept, from literature. Number 2 is methodology. Why methodology also bring a significance of the study? Because you do a research. You identify the research, what the suitable research design. You develop instrument and interview question, questionnaire development, new questionnaire items. You adapt researchability, you adaptability, you questionnaire. You go to send the expert, so expert to you need to improve after you get feedback from the expert. You do the analysis preliminary, screening analysis, exploratory factor analysis. You do a lot of things of the methodology. This will call the contribution and significance of the study also, because previously in this topic is not used that methodology that you using in this research. That the second part, methodology, a lot of the significance of the study into methodology you missing to report. Okay, number 3 is research finding. Research finding straight away from your objective. From your objective or your hypothesis or your research question, actually give the result, the finding. This result and finding is a significance. So from if you can say that our finding is not significant, why you need to study this topic? So all your objective and research question bring a research finding, then we call that empirically. The last one, woo the people to get the benefit this research, that we call that practically. To the governments, okay, to assist their develop policy and something like dia punya agenda and dia punya aspiration and visions. You assist for the industrial or sectors to increase the economy and technology. Okay, this research also to the engagement to community and society. And then the last one for the academic and educations. So this research will be extend for another researcher, another student to continue the study, and then the knowledge will be more extend and extend and extend. That's why when we talk about the significant, always student missing. Why you just only explain theoretical aspect? So methodology, empirical and practical, you not explain on your significance. Okay. Okay, this is some of the same like problem statement, research background objective. We looking the example in order to write the significance of research or significance of the study. For this one, the same like sustainability. We try to continue sustainability from their research, from their two objectives to set a measurement and set a tools. How about their contribution or significance of research? Okay, they make it their first paragraph. This research developed an evaluation tool to assessing a sustainable manufacturing performance for automotive company. Okay, very clear. They want to develop evaluation tool is straight away take from their objective. A set a sustainable manufacturing performance measure is proposed. This one another objective. Okay, point number 1 and point number 2 is highlight their objective. Okay, the measure are then used to develop evaluation tool to sustainable manufacturing performance for automotive company. So this one explain empirical and practical. So to assist automotive company. Subsequently, a software-based tool named Sussmet is developed. This is methodology. Okay, this is methodology. Subsequent software-based tool is this. We call that methodology. Performance for automotive company is the practicals. So number 1 and number 2 is actually 2 in 1. They are covered the theoretical and empirically. Okay, they try to make it one paragraph in the first paragraph to cover at least in the 4 perspectives: theoretical, empirical, methodological, and practical. And then you go to the chapter 2, now they deep. The integration, interpretive structure modeling, this is part of the methodology. And NLP methodology can provide better understanding. The evaluation tool enabler can assist company to know and understand the existing performance level, level of weakness. I need this one, the theoretical, provide suggestion and direction for the company to take. This one, the practical. Now, in this paragraph also, they highlight the methodology. Okay, then they highlight in terms of theoretical and then the practical. So they have 3 area in the cover in the second paragraph. Okay, and then third, the Sussmet evaluation to enable automatic quantify assessment and visual representation of the sustainable management performance for automotive company. Again, this one covers the practical. The tool aid automotive manager to make decision. This one also practical, but represent on the automotive manager. Is hope that Sussmet will be to be benefit automotive company in an effort to more competitive. Finally, this research expected to be benefit both researcher and practitioner. So this paragraph mostly to impact on the practically. Okay. All right. This is some of example. How many paragraph? 3 paragraph. They try to cover 3 paragraph. In this paragraph, have theoretical, methodological, empirically, and finding. And no, sorry, practically. Okay. You can check. So these are this research also from Hafiz Hanif, helping as participation in the open online community and exploratory. So they highlight that they have only 1 paragraph. They highlight. So understanding community and understanding the context we have emerged condition. Okay, then okay, number 1 and 2 and 3 actually they give the justification why justification in this research actually give the significance. So this research is actually more focused on the community and engagements. So all the keyword represent on these methods. Okay, this is quite simple. Okay, so I have a lot here. You just to read and refer this slide after this. This is another example for the significance of the study. Don't be blamed, don't be confusing. This is actually similar term. Some of research use significance of study, significance of research, use the word the contribution. This is just only a term. But in UPSI, we use a words of significance. Okay, this is some example. Next, after significant, we need to discuss on research limitation. Okay, if the significance of study, we have 4 theoreticals, methodological, empirical, and practical, but for limitation, only 2 limitation. First limitation is about the theory and concept. This is about theoretical. And theory and concept, number one, limitation. Limitation number two in research is from the methodology and analysis. Because why? We cannot use all theory in your research. That's why you have limitation theory. You cannot use many concept, many model, 1,000 model and theory. You cannot use because we have the limitation. We have a lot of methodology. We have many methodology. But in this research, maybe use one method. So we can use many analysis because time constraint, PhD only 3 years, master only 2 years. We cannot use all type analysis. So that's why you need to have limitation on theory, on concept, on methodology, and analysis. Okay, this some of the example from the previous thesis. Okay, I already give you video and slide how to get the 30 database. Then you can get more and more thesis. And then please download and then do the what we call that investigation and make it balancing and the alignment to check. And then you can learn that how to write the best research background, problem statement, and objective. Okay, this one of the they call that research target and scope. In UPSI, we call that scope and limitation. In UPSI, term we use is scope and limitation. Please download UPSI guideline for the PhD in master thesis in the website IPS. Please make sure everyone here, please download formatting how to write thesis in UPSI. Okay, everyone should be keep. You need to print hard copy and then you have soft copy also. Okay, so in this part, they have to come out the research target and scope. The first thing first, they mentioned that this topic, sorry, the title is a business continuity management framework for disaster resilient SMEs in Malaysia. Okay, their first sentence, they highlight this research focus on BCM for SME Malaysia. Malaysia is chosen because, okay, this is give reason. Why you choose Malaysia? Because currently there are no BCM framework to deal with disaster at the national level, specifically to design for SME. So Malaysia SME, no framework actually. Okay, point number two is the BCM framework in Malaysia are currently applied to large and multinational company, most focused innovation. Mostly and currently we are focused for the multinational, but we are missing to cover for the SMEs. Okay, explore the impact natural hazard of SME and identify the perception of SME existing DR program if we then concentrate. So they give the focus. They want to concentrate on the involvement various stakeholders in order to explore how they can participate in developing comprehensive framework or guideline for the DRR. Okay, next, they give the explanatory on the target stakeholders for research, government and policymaker to private sector and non-government NGO. Meanwhile, SME investigate meet to criteria state the definition by criteria. So in order to use term SME, we have many definition. In order to do research, you need to use one of them definitions. So definition also have limitation because we have a lot of the definition. So you need to pick one and another definition. That's another, I think that you should be removed, but you need to choose only one. That we call that a research, we have limitation. You need to just select one, the proper one, the suitable one definition to apply in your research. Okay, I'm also do some of the, during my doctorate engineering 2008, actually, this is my scope and assumption in that university in UTM, they use the words of the scope assumption that time. I think right now, maybe they are a little bit changed. Okay, first thing first, I'm highlight the scope and assumption. The pursuit to meeting all the objectives. In order to achieve all the objectives, the scope of the project is crucial. The scope of the research focus the following three areas. Number one, the research focus on strategic relationship on that variables. Number two, population and sample survey respondent case study only target for automotive industry in Malaysia. Second part, for the tool and then the analytical hierarchy process method are used from the base system based on the Excel. So I'm come up a system using the Excel only. Okay, so this we call that I have highlight the scope and assumption. And just study that variable, the specific variable to the Malaysia Automotive Company, all the respondents, survey and case study also from the Malaysia operating in automotive company in Malaysia, and then all the case study and the hierarchy process in order to develop a system I use from the Excel base. That's we call that scope. Okay. All right. Next, this is the same time there are certain assumption. Okay, because scope and assumption, this is assumption. Respondents in the study have broad expertise in lean operation and strategic management. I need to make sure that all the participant, respondent and participant in case study is actually expert in lean operation, strategic management and performance. And then the assumption number 2, I highlight that respondent consists of the panel expert and manager with honestly and best knowledge. From the expert part, expert evaluation also I choose from the right panel expert. And then the last one, the tool, LSPI tool which endorse the recommendation. So all this system, I actually develop system. This system will be evaluated, will to recommend by automotive expert. In order to be this tool as the decision making, in order to make it very good decision and as the systematic evaluation for supplier are reliable. And this is based on this research. Okay. Okay, this is others limitation. You can refer on this limitation for other study from Tengku Analiza. Okay. Okay, this part of the template and assignment. Okay, this is template and assignment. Time to time, we need to discuss on this assignment. And I hope so every week, we need to discuss our assignment. Assignment number 1 is template. Please check the summary I give you in the first week. First meeting, I give you already what our assignment. Number 1 assignment to complete a template. How many templates you need to check? Okay, this is the number 1. Since this is one of that template. You need to make it very simple keywords to highlight that you need to list down your relevant issue, your research background. Please make it simple. I just want one page. I just one page only. You need to highlight the research background. You need to point out the problem statement, your objective, research question, and hypothesis. Okay, please remember this. You need to highlight just little bit point. Okay, now you to make sure you can use a color or arrow. You can use a color or arrow. You have 2 options. Okay, research background number 1 represent what numbers of your problem statement. For example, okay, research background number 1 is related on problem statement number 1. Okay, you can make it arrow or also you can make it same color. This one number 1 blue, this one also blue. Okay, okay, for the number 2, for number 2 for problem statement number 1, it's okay. You can share your problem statement for your research background. But in this case, the formula is research relevant issue is more than the problem. And should be shorted. Your problem, it should be small rather than the numbers of research background. Okay, please make sure that all your, if you think that number 9, for example, number 9, you cannot be aligned your problem statement, please remove your number 9 research background because it's not related. If you want to be related, you need to add number 4 problem statement. And then your problem statement number 1, you should be aligned with which number of your objective. Oh, number 1 for objective number 1. You need to align. Again, your objective align which number of the research question. And if any, if related, if you are studying qualitative, no need hypothesis. If you are in quantitative, yes. So question number 1 represent which number of your research hypothesis. Okay, you can use arrow. Okay, you can use a color. Okay, this is the first template. Next template, this is called the significance of study. That we already discussed. Please remember, theoretical, methodological, empirical, practical. I'm highlight already in your slide. Okay, we have 4 research question. Sorry, research question. Significance of the study. This one. We have 4 significance of the study. Theoretical, methodological, empirical, and practical. Please use this template. Okay, please use this template for your assignments. Okay, this for the significance of the study. Okay, in this template, I need to explain this template. Okay, this topic can be modified according to the field of knowledge, sustainability, and need to research process. So they have replicate extension. Why replicate? Why extension? Some of studies is actually same with the previous one. Same with the previous. that meaning that whatever you study is actually replicate. But if this study, nobody study this topic, this not covered, so this become extension. So whatever you use a theory, model, conceptual, principle, basic, fundamental philosophy, either one of a few related, please highlight. Either that you highlight that story, this is replicate or extension. Either one. This is replicate or extension. Go to number 2, literature review. What technique you use for your literature review? You use the SLR, meta-analysis, and that you need to make sure that whatever you use the literature review contribute for the replicate or extension. And then also for research methodology, research design, philosophy approach, later on we will cover in chapter 3, okay? Research analysis also, research finding, fundamental, and impact. So to government, industry, academic community, is actually this impact contribute is actually same with the previous, or actually this is extension. If extension, you write in this column. If they replicate, in this column. This part of the significance of the study. So this part of the limitation, I'm highlight after this, before this. Limitation, I only have 2, theoretical and methodological. So that's why we have theoretical and methodological. But in this one scope, we cover also a scope. Or we call scope. So because in UMSI we have scope and limitation. So scope. So what your scope? You please write down here. So what is your theoretical limitation? You need to write here, and your justification or the limitation. So you think that this methodology because you study only in para. Okay, why para? You need to write here. Why you choose only in para? So in this column, the limitation, justification, reason why you mentioned you just only use one theory. Why you use only one theory? Why? Please give justification. Okay. This one in bahasa is okay, same like this. Okay, this is sound like checklist. Okay, introduction. See, this is the outline in chapter 1. Introduction, research background, problem statement, research objective, research question, research hypothesis, significant study, definisi operational, scope limitation, and conclusion. Okay, definisi operation is very simple. This is you need to write the main variables, the main keywords that will be represent in your thesis. Please write definition, operation, very simple one. One terms, only one small paragraph. Don't write a lot, because if you write a lot, it's not, we call that definisi operation. We call that definisi concept. Okay, definisi concept in chapter 2. But in chapter 1, very simple definitions. Okay, this is just to you make sure to fulfill this one also, because this is another assignment also from your template requirement. So template already give you, so make sure everyone you can start do this template, okay, for limitation, for contribution, and also the alignment between research background, problem, research objective, research question, and hypothesis. I think for today, just this part I need to cover. So I open for discussion. So you can ask related for the last weeks, okay? For information, in this assignment also we already discussed in the first week. So you please check our video in the first week, and then please check the 30 database. Okay, please looking at all the material I give you. Okay, last week I give the video and slide for this topic also. Okay, please check in the WhatsApp group. So we're already in the 3 weeks. So a lot matter we have done. We actually done cover in chapter 1 actually. Okay, the next week we need to cover another chapter, chapter 2. So everyone you be clear that for the chapter 1. Okay, so for this matter, so I open discussion. If you have question, please. Any questions? That's why last week I need discussion in a WhatsApp group. So because when I through the lecture, no questions. So when we discuss in a WhatsApp group, a lot of the question, a lot of the engagement. And okay, I have 15 years experience to teach business research method. So I know that. So that's why we should be planned. Sometimes we have lecture like this. So we have discussion in WhatsApp group because engagement is really important. Okay? Any questions so far?
Assalamualaikum doktor.
Okay, Farhana tanya soalan. Sorry.
Okay.
I'm just read Farhana. Is compulsory to align the total number research question and research objective? Yes. Is one of research question can be answered by one research objective only? For example, in my study for 4 research question, should I also develop 4 research objective? Okay, the numbers is no issues. No numbers. Okay, number 1, compulsory. All alignment should be aligned. Everyone, every single objective, research question and problem statement. But for your question number 2, it's not necessary. You can also, one objective have 2 research question. No problem. That's the numbers is not issue. And for example, you have one problem statement, but for one problem statement, you have many research background. No problems. One objective can be more than one research question. One research question also can more than one hypothesis. For example, you only have one objective. You only have one objective, but this one objective, you have 2 research questions. These 2 research questions, you can come up 10 hypotheses. No problem. Okay. But for the alignment, compulsory. Because the panel will be checked. Why you do this objective? No problem. No issues. Why you study this part? You cannot give the alignment. So sometimes we call that in the industry, we call that value added and non-value added. Whatever you do, because have the reason, that we call that value added. If you just do because you just to add the numbers, I want to add number, I just to run, just to analysis, just do, but no reason, we call non-value added. The waste matters, we call that. In research, we cannot waste. Whatever you want to study, that's it. Sebab tu in bahasa we call that research, the best word is sederhana. Tak lebih, tak kurang. Nanti ada pembaziran. That is become, if you are sederhana, if you are moderate, you just do whatever you should be do, then the last part, you can get the quality. The quality, the definition of research quality is actually your research is moderate. You can answer your objective and research question for the relevant matters. Relevant problem, relevant objective, suitable methodology, and analysis. Just nice. No waste, no non-value added. Just nice. That's we call that quality. Number of page, you write more, not quality. Quality is not measured by number of page. You bring a lot of objective, not bring a quality actually. Okay. How to ensure the background of the study and research problem are aligned? You need check one by one, Hanafi. Hanafi, we just cover. You still remember that I'm trying to explain you word paragraph, sentence by sentence. I read this research background, second research background. I check one by one, Hanafi, to make sure that my research background and problem statement is magnetic, has to be aligned. You need to check words by word, sentence by sentence. No other approach, no system, no software can cover the alignment. This is a human part. You need to understand and apply. You should be know whatever you write. You need to check one by one. Why I'm write this sentence in research background? For what? So what? Why I write this in problem statement? Why I write this statement for the problem? Because we have issue in the research background. And that's the reason. If that's why I give the template, Hanafi. That's why I give you template, this template, to check. You have here, you list down your research background, you list down your problem statement. If you cannot match, meaning that something error in your research background or your problem statement. If you have number 10, it cannot match, please delete number 10. Number 9 cannot match, delete number 9, because you cannot align. Why you need to save the issue number 9 without any counter of the statement of the problems? That part, we call that this research is sederhana. And if you want to do a lot of methods, a lot of things, you still remember that how many you have your problem. That I mentioned, problem statement is agreement. Every single word, whatever you write in your problem statement should be as the objective. You just write, I just write, but it's no reason at all. You just write because I just show the problem, but you not solve that problem. Please delete. If not, your thesis is not complete. We have many cases, a few cases. Research complete, but cannot get the thesis because a few problem statement, no objective, your problem statement is not solved. You solve, but you solve is not the problem. You have the problem, but you cannot solve. But what you solve? You solve other thing. It's not a problem. And so that's why I'm thorough. Despite that's why I try to guide you, but everyone you can be use this template to check every sentence. This sentence what the keywords? This sentence what the keyword? You need to check one by one. And again in Malaysia style writing, you should be repeating, redundant. You say many things frequently. If you write the sentence, the meaning is same, please delete one. Just bring one. Don't bring many sentences to represent the same things. Okay, jangan tulis benda yang sama berulang-ulang. Because in chapter 1 is introduction. Introduction is very simple, very short. Chapter 1 is introduced for chapter 2, chapter 3, chapter 4, chapter 5. This is chapter 1. Whatever you write in chapter 1 is actually you need to explain more in chapter 2, chapter 3, chapter 4, chapter 5. Chapter 1 is introduction. If you give the introduction, it's very complex. You write more and more. Some people think that, wow.
என்ன செய்யறேன்னு தெரிய செய்தியா
very
கொண்டு போய் வைக்க
complex.
வேண்டியதான் ரிமோட் கண்ட்ரோல்ல இப்படியே நின்றுட்டு இப்ப எதுக்கு மை நின்றுட்டு இருக்க நீ எது நின்றுட்டு இருக்க நீ ஏன் நின்றுட்டு இருக்க நீ
Okay. Alright, any questions? Sekejap ada orang panggil. Okay. Sorry, because courier. Okay, anything to ask? Anything to add in chat? Okay. One significance of the study, we have the practical significance. One of the significance. Okay, you should be have. So if you research only theoretical, but you don't have practical significance, it's not complete. So as a research, you need to apply your research contribution will be impact to the industrial, to impact to the governments. Okay, so that's why we need some the practical implication or practical significance also. Okay. Okay, I try to take your question. I went for an interview for PhD studies at the other institution long ago, and when the interview asked me what the significance of my study, I told the example contribution to society, blah blah blah. The interview asked me, do you think we read your thesis? How should you actually answer this? Okay. The question is, I told them example contribution to society. Then the interviewer asked me, do you think that we read your thesis? How should I actually answer it? Okay. That's why Hazirani, in order to answer from your question like interview, you need to firm your answer. For example, okay, as the research, so we can know that this research become a lot of the benefits and contribution. As research contribution, we need to discuss in the 4 segmentation or 4 elements. We call that theoreticals, methodological, empirical, and practicals. Because you just only represent of the practicals, the key player of contribution is methodology and theoreticals. This depends on audience. If you are interview with the academic people, when go to the interview with academic people, of course they are expert in terms of theoretical and methodological. So that's why you need to give the feedback. Your argument should be for the theoretical and methodological also. And then for the practitioner, of course, is practitioner, they want to practical implication or practical contributions. Okay, but if you are interview for the governments, for you interview the government people, the same thing, they are also academic and also practical. Don't missing for your, that you already highlight for your community and society. So you should be balanced. If you just explain the society, you are not balanced. If you just only talk about practical but no society, it's not balanced. You should have balance on theoretical, methodological, practically, and society. You should be balance of this. Okay, but it's depend on study. Some of study, for example, science, pure science. Pure science maybe not effect on the societies. But in our case, management. Management contribute on the theoretical, yes. Contribute for methodology, yes. Everyone do a research. Of course, for sure you have methodology contribution. Impact on the practical, yes. Community and society, yes. Maybe direct or indirect, but still yes. And okay, still yes. Okay, any questions?
Okay, please. Hello, doctor.
Okay, Azrin, very subjective. Azrin. Some interview, sometimes we try to give the best answer. It's normal. As a researcher, we need to learn and learn and learn. When I go to Indonesia, the setting, research setting is different. Okay, I'm go in Thailand, I go to the UK, also the contribution, the understanding is different. So kalau orang kata dalam bahasa Melayu lah kan, kita datang rumah orang, kita kena hormat tuan punya rumah lah. So how that you need to learn about the natural setting. Sometimes because we are from this area, so when we go to that area, we just show to our expertise. But we don't learn and try about their culture and their settings. That I'm also to learn about this. And when I'm go to the presentation, it's not about me, it's not about the audience. So who the audience, who the people, who to be listen to my point. So I need to learn and engage that the person also first. And if I want to sell a product, I not sell a product that I love that product. No, if I love that product, maybe I cannot sell the product. The most important thing, I need to know that what customer needs, what the customer requirements. If based on the customer demand and need, then I sell the product. I just sell the product based on the customer needs and demand. I not sell the product because I love that product. That is normal lah. We still learn and learn about research. Research is many things. That's why I'm studying. Okay, that's why I'm studying my third PhD, because I need to learn many things of the research. And so research in your quality of life, we have actually significantly. If you do a research, you assist your life. So if before this, in your family, you have the problem, but you have lacking on decision making. Kita buat keputusan yang kurang tepat. But from you learn on the research that you know that how to solve the problem. So in your career paths, and so you in your workplace, you have many problems, you want to solve the problem. Once you study on research methodology, you study the right thesis in terms of your decision making, also very systematically. That's why we need to don't stop, please continuity learn for the research. And so because every books, every scholar will be highlight a different opinion, if the different argument in certain issues. So that's why we need to be learn and learn. Okay, anything?
Good day, doctor.
Boleh saya.
Okay, Vijayan here, doctor. Just simple questions for me. Because I have a long way of thinking about it. When we research a problem, are the data play a big role in our research? Because sometimes I check with others boys as well and discuss with my friends as well. When we do data collection, when we didn't get for justify our research, are they made a big problem first when we do research?
It depends.
Thank you, doctor. That's all.
Sorry, can you answer my question? You are
Yes,
PhD
doctor.
or master?
PhD, doctor.
PhD in what?
In the management actually.
You plan using the data, secondary data or the primary data?
Primary.
So primary data, no issue on data.
Okay,
Because
doctor.
you collect the data,
Yes.
you not using the data. If you are data secondary, you are using the data secondary, you depend from the data from annual reports. Whatever have the data from annual report or others document, you depend on that. But if you are study on the primary data, we don't have any issues. Not, yeah, you have the issues, but it's not critical issues represent on the data lah. But you should be know that regarding on your problem statement. In my case, I'm looking the data first because it's really important because I want to study this topic. So in order to get the data, I try to send to the manager. But I notice not many managers. So I cannot use for the questionnaire. If I want to study in this place, I need to study in qualitative because not enough numbers. Okay, but in my case, I looking that my problem can be solved by statistic or my problem can solve by tax. And please remember, for example, if you want to go to the interviews, you need to send your CV and resume first. You need to send to the organization. So organization will be check the requirement. They have the checklist to check. After they check, not meaning that you are actually the top pointer, very high pointer, you can be selected as the workers, but they call you for another interview. So in this case, this is a mixed methods. Okay, based on your study, you need to check. Yeah, I know that some student, I want to use questionnaire. Yeah, I know that you want to use a questionnaire to use the primary data, but your problem cannot be solved by questionnaire. In this problem, can the best answer your problem, just do the interview. And that's another part you need to learn. When you talk about data, please learn your problem. Your problem can be solved by text. Text meaning that qualitative or can be solved by numerical or statistical. Okay, this is an issue. Thank you, that's question. This another issue also. Some people just write the problem. So then talk about data collection and methodology, they follow their friend advice. My friend said, if you want to GOT PhD, just do the questionnaire. Based on my friend recommend, I use the questionnaire. Yes, you can do the questionnaire for the PhD purpose, but it's not your problem statement. Your problem statement is not meshed with your questionnaire. That another thing you should be learned. And the question, the first thing first, you need to check the requirement in data. You want to study primary data or secondary data? If you want to study secondary data, yes, data is really, really important. You need to check the capability and reliability. And that's why my friend from economic, from finance, before they do the research, they run the analysis. They run the analysis first. Then after the run analysis, they get the result. Bila they're looking the result, they believe that, okay, this result is suitable for PhD, then they choose this topic. Then they write the chapter 1. Some people do the secondary data, their analysis first, preliminary analysis first, before they choose that topic. If you are primary, no need. For me, bukan no need lah. It's something like, yes, we have issue, but little bits. It's not critical or crucial. Okay.
Thank you so much, doctor. Really helped your explanation.
Any questions? Okay, around 4. Okay, around 4 p.m. is okay, no problem. So if you after this, I give the slide again. So a little bit different. Last week's I give this video also. So after this, I give you slide and video, and I give you another slide and video for next week's. So I give you time to learn our chapters before we make appointment and meetings. Okay, anything if you want to ask, please ask in the WhatsApp group. I try to answer your question after class. Okay, if no issue, no questions, so we should be stopped here. Thank you very much, your commitment, your engagement, your times. I know that this one Saturday, you should be spend your with your family, and for the Muslim for the ibadah. So continue, okay. Okay, terima kasih banyak-banyak. Selamat berpuasa. Assalamualaikum and good afternoon. Thank you very much all.
Waalaikumsalam. Thank you, Doctor.